It's an honor to meet you in person and ask you a few questions regarding the Indian economy, sir.
Yeah.
The first question is that could you just elaborate on your relationship with the Indian Economic Association, the legacy it carries, and your thoughts on the association?
Yeah. Indian Economic Association, as you know, it's 108th the annual conference of the Indian Economic Association. That means it has crossed the 100 years of Indian Economic Association, and it has a great history. Of course, presently is also it's good the quality wise. The great history because some of the eminent economists were associated with that, including Jagdish Bhagwati, and Amartya Sen, and many other economists, Dr. Manmohan Singh and Shukma Chakravarti, many Delhi School of Economics professors. So they are all associated with Indian Economic Association, and and also it's important for the younger scholars because they used to meet the eminent economists and learn from them, like today, and So this more than 100 years history of the Indian economic is a great thing for for Indian economists, and also even non-economists can learn. I mean, like social sciences, even scientists can learn from the economic interactions thing. So that way, it has a great legacy. We had several eminent economists associated with this association. And each year we have several three or four topics, and then lots of papers keep coming. So I've been associated with for a long time, almost 20, 30 years or so, with this Indian Economic Association. I used to go when I was young also. I used to go to these conferences, and then in 2017 or so, I was the association president of the Indian Economic Association. So 3 years, we organized in Raipur and Jaipur and other places conferences, Vellore also. So I've been associated with this for, as I mentioned, for a long time. Yeah, yeah,
So it's a very creative question. Like in your formative years,
yeah.
in your childhood days, which theory of economics attracted you towards the subject?
Yeah. It is not any theory or something, but I was I belong to Andhra Pradesh, where people were taking more engineering and medicine there. So I got interest in childhood itself on social sciences. Then within social sciences, I thought economics from the policy point of view and all. So since childhood, I've been studying economics, the intermediate economics and BA, MA. I did MPhil and PhD at Delhi School of Economics. So theories, from Adam Smith to, present thing. I mean, they're all good theories, and growth theories and other theories. And but also we should have our own kind of development, developing countries theories, because you see some of the things, advanced countries theories are not applicable to us. For example, if you take employment in the US, wage employment is 90%, but the other employment, in India, self-employed is 50%. So if you have those theories for India, it sometimes feels so. Yeah. So some of them are good Western things, but we should also have our own Indianized version of economic theory and all, suited to our own structure of the economy and all.
Right.
Yeah.
Sir, has working closely with poverty made you more optimistic or restless as an economist?
The poverty, we call it extreme poverty. It has declined significantly over time during, particularly in the post-reform period. It used to be very high, 50s, and when I was a student, it used to be very high. But now, with take the same measurement, we call it Tendulkar poverty line or Rangarajan poverty line. So that if you take that, in fact, Dr. Rangaraj and myself wrote in Indian Express and other newspapers that it has declined to 4% now, compared to 27% in 2012. So that way there is a drastic decline in poverty. But still, now the problem is not poverty or food security, but it's nutrition security is a problem. See, many of our children are still undernutrition. The numbers are high, 30% something. Also, obesity at the same time is increasing. So recent consumption patterns data we see, suppose food is 100, out of that 21% we are spending on processed food. So in processed, which is harmful to the health and all. So those problems are much more now, rather than we don't have food daily, those kind of food starvation kind of things. There may be some places. I mean, we have still people suffer from lack of food and also amenities and all, but the number is much less. Yeah, so that way I'm not worried too much about the absolute poverty, but inequalities are there. As I was mentioning, because many are in informal sector employment. So unless you improve the formal, then, and similarly health education dichotomy is there. So those things are much more important now. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The government has its own definition of Viksit Bharat,
Yeah.
and everyone has their own opinion about the Viksit Bharat. So what, according to you, is Viksit Bharat? How do you imagine a developed India?
Developed India, as I mentioned in my lecture, it has to be, the not only per capita income higher by 2047, but this kind of inclusive growth kind of thing is also important. Employment, health education, those things are important. Similarly, the most recent one is also sustainability, because even many other countries now realized that we can't go on without sustainability. And similarly, the climate change is also we have to take into account. So we can't have this kind of petrol or diesel vehicles in the next few years. We should move towards EV, electric vehicles. So that kind of thing. Sometimes it may hurt the growth, but there is no choice. We have to go for sustainable development.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to look into the long-term perspective.
Long-term perspective. Yeah.
Right, sir. So one peculiar question, sir. So
Yeah.
what is happening to our currency right now, sir? How can we understand the recent volatility?
Recent volatility, I'm not that worried, because you see, what is the sanctity of 90? If you cross 90, people worried, thing. Say the present one, as Dr. Rangarajan mentioned, the outflows are there much more because of these tariffs and other things. They are, in some of the countries, they are going to some other countries because the Indian tariffs are high and those things. So, because it's I feel it's a cyclical thing. It's not a structural kind of problem. So already it's at 89 now. That so in future also, earlier it was depreciating because the inflation between US and India was high, a difference. Now it is not much, but in spite of that, it is depreciating because of the demand and supply. So Reserve Bank doesn't the worry about the exchange rate, but volatility. Volatility, if it is too much, this side, then they will intervene. Otherwise, they think it will help exports, and imports may be costly. But now the oil is also $60 per barrel, so it's not that concern. Inflation is 2%. So next 1 or 2 years, it's not a concern.
Yes, sir. So last question, sir.
Yeah.
So what will be your message to the budding economists right now, sir?
budding economists, I think they should work on policies and also work sometime in the government so that they know the how policies work and all, and so they can also contribute to the country in that way. Private sector will give more money and all, but I think at least some years they should work, and they should keep on reading good, important articles and other things so that they can benefit from
Keep them
updated.
with
Yeah,
what is
yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your
Yeah,
service.
yeah, okay.